The new Samsung M8 Smart Monitor is one of the strangest things I've tried out in a while. It does things I didn't think it would be able to, and doesn't do some things I was expecting. This review is going to be slightly different than some of the other early access reviews on this. I told Samsung a sponsorship wouldn't work for me, but I appreciate them letting me try this out early to give you my real thoughts. It also might seem weird that I'm reviewing a monitor on the channel Smart Home Solver. Well, this thing's actually packed with smart home features, and there's a lot to go over, so let's get into it. If you look at the design of the M8 and say, hey, that looks like something from Apple, you're not alone. I thought the same thing when I first saw it at CES. But remember, Apple's Studio display was announced after this was revealed, so I don't know who's copying who. But anyways, it's only a good thing because Apple has great design, and I really like how this looks on the desk. You can get it in white, or for a little extra, there are 3 different colors you can choose. This is the blue version, and I like the color, but it's not as dramatic as something from Apple, because it's just the color of the bottom chin and the stand. The back is white no matter what color you end up choosing. Also, the stand is included. I like the look. It can be moved up and down, tilted back and forth, but I have mixed feelings because there isn't a VESA option with this monitor. It's a bummer, but it's not a deal breaker for me because I like the included stand. This is a very thin monitor, and the whole thing besides the bottom of the stand is covered in plastic. There are 4 different ports, a micro HDMI, USB-C 3.0 for data and 65 watts of power. That way, if you have something like this M1 MacBook Air, it can power the computer and extend the display with just one cord. Plus, the stand is high enough to see over the laptop, which is great. There's also another USB-C port, and up top is a unique Samsung connector. Included with this monitor is a camera that can use that Samsung connector. It can be adjusted, and it just snaps on with magnets. Remember how I said there was some surprises with this monitor? Well, this is one of them. I was thinking, great, I can move the camera to frame myself perfectly. But wait, I can only point the camera up? Sitting at a desk, I have way too much headroom already. I have to either push the monitor down or tilt it forward. Neither one I want to do. It does have face tracking and will zoom in on my face to get rid of some of that extra headroom. But that only works in certain apps right now like Google Duo. Using Zoom on the computer doesn't do any face tracking. If I have too much headroom, it just looks weird. I like the camera though. It's 1080p and the image is really sharp compared to the garbage webcams and laptops we're used to. There's also this magnetic cover that can be stored in the back. So after you're done using the camera, you can just cover it really easy. I love it. When it comes to the display, it looks really good, but not top of the line. It's 4K and 32 inches, so it's a really big monitor. It has HDR10 Plus and 400 nits of brightness, so it can get plenty bright. And the colors also look great with a sRGB of 99%. I have it sitting next to a 16-inch M1 Pro, and that display is incredible. But still, the Samsung M8 screen looks good enough that it's not jarring to go back and forth between the displays. I personally like the M8's display. It only has a 60Hz refresh rate, and it would be nice if it was higher, especially sitting next to that MacBook Pro with ProMotion. But for what this monitor is designed for, like watching TV, I think it's fine. But if that was a deal breaker for you, of course there are other monitors out there, especially for gaming. One of the cool things about this display is that you can easily adjust the picture profile with a remote. Now the remote is something I have a love-hate relationship with. First, I love that it's small, charges with USB-C, and works great when watching TV or adjusting the brightness. But it's missing a crucial button for me, source or input selection. If I hit the Netflix button, it takes me right to Netflix extremely fast. But if I want to get back to my extended computer screen, I have to click the remote 10 times. 10! That's way too much. Alright, I'm going to interrupt myself. I was just about to go off on all the different ways the remote cannot easily switch back to the PC, but I just stumbled across a really easy way to do it. Switch to PC. So I can just use my voice and it quickly does it. And someone asked me on Twitter if I can switch between different sources, like 2 different computers, and you can. switch to HDMI 1. There you go. So the voice is actually really helpful on this monitor, and I'm going to talk about that in this next section. One thing that surprised me is that Samsung gives you the option to use Bixby or Amazon's voice assistant. I would have bet money they were going to force us to use Bixby, but I'm happy I have the option. This is one feature I did not expect much, but I was pleasantly surprised on how well it worked. I can use the remote, or I can just say the wake word. Samsung says it has far-field voice built in, but it wasn't as consistent as an Amazon Echo in recognizing the wake word. I liked how I could just ask it the weather and it would just show it right there on the screen. Same with my calendar, or if I wanted to see a camera, it just shows right up. Pretty sweet. I could also use it to open up the YouTube app and search for videos with my voice. It didn't work for all apps like Netflix, but at least YouTube is better than nothing. It could even show me recipes. It would be pretty awesome to use this as a big Echo show in the kitchen, but you cannot drop in or call other Echoes, so it's not perfect. Still, this Samsung M8 is a way better voice assistant display than I expected it to be. While you cannot call another Echo device, there is a different option for video calls. Google Duo is a built-in app on the M8 monitor, and it works pretty well. The only thing is, if someone tried to call me on Google Duo, the monitor would not alert me, so I can only start calls on the monitor. Okay, so the thing that initially made me interested in the M8 smart monitor is the built-in SmartThings hub. If you're not familiar with what a smart home hub is, basically it helps smart home devices work together. So you can run automations with devices from different companies. Samsung stopped directly selling their SmartThings hub over a year ago, and people thought Samsung was gonna kill off SmartThings completely. Turns out the opposite is true. Samsung is gonna start including their SmartThings hub in their new TVs and monitors, and this monitor is the first one to have an IoT hub built in, so that's pretty cool. Something to note though, this monitor does not have Zigbee or Z-Wave built in, like the previous hubs. Instead, if you want to connect Zigbee devices, you need to buy an extra USB add-on. This little device connects with USB-C and has some adhesive to attach to the back of your monitor or new Samsung TV. Once you add it, you can connect it to the SmartThings hub and add Zigbee devices. There's actually a lot of sensors and devices that use Zigbee, like the vibration sensor on the piano I showed in the last video. Yeah, that one uses Zigbee. Otherwise, you'll only be able to automate Wi-Fi devices. Oh, and Z-Wave? It's not an option no matter what, but that's not that big of a deal. I'm just happy that a SmartThings hub is included. It's a great bonus, and it's going to help a lot more people get into the smart home space. Just like the M7, there are also a lot of built-in apps you can use with this monitor. Basically, it works like a Samsung TV. There's the Samsung TV Plus app, Netflix, YouTube TV, and much more. You can use the remote to change the channel and volume. The speakers on this are pretty good for a monitor. It's not going to replace the speakers on your desk or a soundbar, but if you're casually watching a TV show on them, it's going to get the job done. What's also cool is that you can use a keyboard and mouse with this built-in browser or Microsoft apps. I have the Logitech Unify USB stick plugged into the back of the monitor, and the keyboard and mouse work great with my computer this way. And then if I unplug my computer, I can still use them with just the monitor. It's great to have that option, and you can even remote desktop to your computer. It also has DeX and seriously so much functionality crammed into this thing, like AirPlay 2 to share or extend your Apple display. Alright, the important question, should you actually get one? Well, at first, I wasn't sure who this monitor was really for, so I wasn't exactly sure. Everything this smart monitor can do, another device can do that specific task better. Voice assistant, hub, display, TV, the list goes on. But after using this monitor for about 2 weeks and thinking about it for a while, I finally caught the vision. Even if you don't use all the features now, you might want them later. For example, if I were back in college, I would have loved this monitor. I could have it connected to my computer for schoolwork, and then at night watch some TV on it in bed. And then after graduating, I could use the built-in SmartThings hub in my apartment or house. Or now I can use it as a monitor and the voice assistant built in. I probably wouldn't use it much for TV on my desk though. But if I ever upgrade my monitor down the road, I could repurpose the M8 in another room like the kitchen and use it as a TV, a shared family computer, or a big smart voice assistant display. Personally, I don't buy monitors that often, so having one like this that can do so many things will help me get more out of it over a long period of time. So there's a lot of unexpected things with this monitor, many good surprises, and the things that did not work as expected were very minor, nothing that would stop me from buying it. And overall, I really like the M8.
Whoa, you have so much headroom again. You need to fix that.
No, this is normal. This is normal for this camera.
No, point it down. It looks weird. Wait a second, are you still wearing the same shirt from like 4 days ago?
I haven't been outside since then.
You're trying to hide it with the camera angle.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.